I mean, of course, I spoke with my son. Me and his uncles. We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with a short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury. And people gonna posture themselves as servants. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be completely honest for a moment. The chaos unraveling around hip-hop's next generation has taken a turn so intense, so dramatic, and so unexpected that even the wildest Hollywood scriptwriters couldn't have imagined it. What if I told you that King Harris, Boosie, and even Boosie's own son are now tangled in a situation that looks bigger, darker, and more explosive than anything we've seen in years? This is not just another celebrity meltdown or a bit of routine online mess. What we are witnessing is a storm that has dragged family names through the dirt, exposed private moments, and sparked deep conversations about fame, parenting, privilege, and the dangerous cost of clout in an unforgiving digital world. It all started quietly, just a whisper. A rumor floating around Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. People claimed a private video had surfaced. A tape supposedly involving King Harris and Boosie's son. Most folks brushed it off immediately. After all, both families have been magnets for gossip for over a decade. Being the children of controversial rappers has always put them under a microscope. The internet has tried to tear them down before, and each time it was just noise. But then, things shifted. Screenshots started circulating. Blurry clips popped into private group chats. People tried to zoom in, enhance, speculate. Captions hinted at behavior so reckless it made Atlanta stop and stare. The internet loves drama. It feeds off chaos. But this wasn't the usual laughing matter. This wasn't a silly viral fight or a joke gone wrong. This time, the whispers included something far more serious: allegations that Boosie himself might have been present during the gathering. Whether true or not, that claim alone sent the internet into meltdown. Suddenly, this wasn't about kids acting wild. It was about adults, supervision, responsibility, and lines that should never be crossed. To truly understand why this scandal shook people to their core, you have to look at who is involved. King Harris is the son of hip-hop royalty T and Tiny. He grew up in privilege, with access to everything most people can only dream of. Yet, despite the mansions, fame, and opportunities, King has always tried to prove he's tough, real, and independent of his parents' legacy. His viral incidents, from the Waffle House argument to countless Instagram rants, painted him as unpredictable, rebellious, and hungry for validation from the streets. Then you have Boosie, a man whose entire career has been built on controversy. Whether he's clashing with other celebrities, posting wild Instagram live videos, or making extreme statements about parenting, Boosie has never shied away from chaos. His son, growing up in that environment, seems to have inherited that same energy, a desire to prove himself, to be loud, to stand out, to push boundaries. Put those personalities together, King, Boosie, and Boosie's son, and you have a recipe for disaster. According to online chatter, what started as a simple hangout between the families spiraled into a night of partying that got way too out of hand. Money flashing, smoking, drinking, people showing off for social media. It was supposed to be the typical look at us living life moment. But someone had their phone out. Someone recorded more than they should have. And when that footage leaked, everything changed. When the clips surfaced, the gossip blogs exploded. Some bloggers insisted it was nothing more than young men acting foolish. Others suggested something darker was happening behind the scenes. But the allegation of Boosie being present, that's what pushed it over the edge. Suddenly, the entire conversation shifted from kids messing up to what were the adults doing. And that's when the fallout began. According to reports and insiders online, completely lost it. Imagine spending decades building a legacy, only to watch your son's name attached to something potentially career-ending. They say T stormed into business meetings, called emergency legal teams, and threatened lawsuits against anyone resharing the footage. But here's the problem: sometimes trying too hard to silence a rumor makes people believe it even more. The harder he pushed, the louder the speculation got. People began asking questions. If it's fake, why panic? Why send lawyers? Why respond at all? Meanwhile, Boosie handled things the complete opposite way. Instead of addressing the situation seriously, he turned it into a joke, posting memes, making cryptic comments, laughing online as if nothing mattered. That reaction didn't sit well with people. Fans accused him of treating everything like entertainment, even when his own child was at the center of the controversy. Critics slammed his parenting. Old interviews resurfaced where Boosie bragged about letting his kids do things most parents would never allow. Suddenly, people weren't just criticizing his son, they were questioning the entire household. Within days, the scandal spread far beyond social media. Major blogs, podcasts, and even mainstream news outlets started covering it. Twitter or X erupted with hashtags like #HarrisScandal, #BoosieExposed, and #HipHopKidsGoneWild. Memes flooded every timeline. Fake insiders appeared claiming they had more footage. Anonymous users described details that may or may not have been real, but it didn't matter. Once the internet decides a narrative, the truth becomes secondary. Digging deeper, people began pulling up old clips from King Harris's past. Videos of him arguing, fighting, boasting about being rich, claiming he grew up in the hood even though he lived in a mansion. On the other side, people resurfaced every controversial thing Boosie had ever said about parenting, sexuality, discipline, everything. Suddenly, this was no longer about a video. It became a character study, a cultural debate, a public dragging session, and the families felt it. Reports began spreading that tiny blame tea for not stepping in sooner, for letting King roam wild, for letting the internet raise him instead of stepping up at home. Unconfirmed rumors said King's mother threatened legal action if T didn't gain better control over the situation. Whether those claims were real or not, they added fire to the already blazing chaos. The professional backlash started quickly. Promoters reportedly began pulling King Harris from upcoming shows, worried the scandal would overshadow their events. Sponsors allegedly backed away from Boosie's team. Behind the scenes, emails leaked showing industry executives distancing themselves from the families until things calmed down. Then the money rumors began. Talk of hush payments, talk of deleted footage, allegations that someone had been paid to keep quiet. People speculated that more videos might exist. Audio clips, many clearly fake, circulated online with voices claiming to be Boosie bragging about controlling Atlanta. But here's the thing, in the court of public opinion, authenticity doesn't matter. Perception becomes reality. And the perception was brutal. This scandal wasn't being treated as a simple mistake. It was seen as proof that this new generation of rap royalty was headed down a dangerous path. That fame had created monsters. That privilege had blinded them, that their need for attention outweighed common sense. The impact hit every corner of their lives. T went into full damage control mode, trying to salvage his legacy. Tiny, according to rumors, questioned the stability of their home. Boosie doubled down on pretending he didn't care. And their sons, caught between their parents' decisions and the world's judgment, were left to face consequences they never saw coming. The bigger question now is this: where does the situation go from here? Legal action is reportedly on the table. Investigations may follow, depending on what's real and what's not. There is even speculation that criminal implications could arise if certain allegations are proven true. Even if no charges ever come out of this, reputations have been damaged in ways that may never fully heal. For fans, this entire scandal is a brutal reminder of how dangerous the constant chase for clout can be. How one night of wild behavior can turn into a lifelong consequence. How nothing, and I mean nothing, stays private anymore. Phones are everywhere. Screenshots live forever. And the internet never forgives. So buckle up, because this story is far from over. This isn't just a scandal about a tape. This is a cautionary tale about fame, parenting, ego, and the cost of living too loudly in a world where everyone is watching. For King Harris, Boosie, and their families, the fallout has only just begun.